Hello guys, welcome back to another video. For many of you that don't know, my name is Dolapo. So if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and engaging with my previous videos. And if you have not yet subscribed, please click that subscription button. That will really encourage you. At this point we're filming this video, we're actually working on our dissertation, so we could be doing that, but because as much as possible I wanted to reach out to as many of my classmates who are still around in the UK to film this video. So I'm sacrificing that time. So please guys, encourage my channel and support my channel by subscribing, liking and sharing these videos. So today I have a very special guest with me. His name is Wisdom, and Wisdom is going to be introducing himself shortly. And Wisdom is also on a fully funded scholarship, which he's going to be talking about. And what is interesting about that scholarship is that both of us are actually on the same fully funded scholarship. And out of 3 people, I believe, that were selected for this scholarship in 2022, we are amongst the 3 that were selected. So he's here to share his experience and just sit back and relax. So Wisdom, thank you so much for taking out time. I know that you're busy and all of that, but thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your name, what course you're studying and what scholarship you're on?
Okay, my name is Wisdom Obinna. I am a student of the journalism department here at the University of Sheffield under the Allan and Nesta Ferguson scholarship, which of course you're also part of. Yeah, so but it's a pleasure to be here, and I do hope that we'll learn a few things together.
Yeah, amazing. All right, thank you so much, Wisdom. So my first question to you would be, or my second question would be, so how did you learn about the Allan and Nesta scholarship? Because although we're both on the same scholarship, I'm pretty sure we heard about it differently. Me, I learned about the scholarship through like a Google search and also from a YouTube video I watched. So for you, how did you learn about the scholarship?
Okay, my story was a bit interesting, but
okay.
I had a friend who were looking for similar opportunities together. So she, at that time, got invited for Shivni. I also applied, but I was rejected. And I was rejected on the last day. Like they waited for, I don't know, I can't remember exactly the order now, but they waited for the very last day when everybody my fate has increased. Like, yeah, I mean,
oh my God.
All of a sudden I saw, of course, my rejection, but she was that same day invited for the interview. So while she was going for the interview, we had walked through the process together for a long time. I felt like, boy, am I going to do this thing again for another year? I was part of some groups.
Okay.
Because I had started the journey like a year earlier, so I was part of some groups where they share opportunities and various opportunities. So most times I didn't have some things that would make me apply for some, so I always was limited. But when I saw the Allan and Nesta Ferguson scholarship, it wasn't very limited. So immediately I saw the scholarship. That was when I started every single thing, including the admission, so I was among the late applicants for this university's admission. But every of those things I did in the same process, along the same time. And when the scholarship came out, I was eventually among those who got the opportunity to apply, and then I also got the scholarship.
Wow, amazing. So when you say groups, what kind of groups? Were these like WhatsApp groups or there were WhatsApp groups? Yeah,
of course. Like I said, my journey is a bit interesting. So, but there are different groups. Some you don't even remember where you met which. Of course, I remember where I saw the Allan, but then there are some you always see things you don't even know. Okay, where did I see this particular scholarship? But Telegram and WhatsApp, but particularly in terms of this one, it was a WhatsApp group.
Okay, is this group open to people, like anyone that wants to join, or is it like a closed group?
It's actually open, but I would not exactly know how people join the group. But I know for sure that if you attend some of those seminars organized by those bodies, I mean, it's particular individuals who are in the hierarchy, exactly top of this group. So if you maybe attend their seminars, like something like this, maybe they could at some point share it in the comment section or something like that. But there's also a website, exactly. So you could get access to the WhatsApp group, I think. If you, am I allowed to mention it?
Yes, please. And that's what I'm even asking for people
there's Scholarship Region.
Scholarship Region.
That's the name, yeah. If you just type it on Google, you would see it. There's also Opportunities Africa.
Okay.
So if you type it, you see it. And then in those groups, they regularly share various opportunities. And that's just what they do in the group. You don't chat, nobody talks to you. They actually just float some of those opportunities. Once it's out, they will put it there, and also you get to see the deadline. Then they put a link by which you can go to that official website now, like Scholarship Region, to see the full details of those opportunities. So yeah, Scholarship Region is one of them. I think it was particularly Scholarship Region's WhatsApp group. You will still see the link to join the WhatsApp group, because I know they should have WhatsApp group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it might not be the one I mean, but you definitely get a link to join.
Oh wow, that's really helpful. I'm pretty sure my subscribers, anyone that is watching, would be happy to know that, because many people do ask me like, okay, how do I find out about scholarship? Me, I just did a Google search, and maybe now I'm pretty sure the kind of information that was there that time as at last year might be different from what is there on Google now. So thank you for that. Guys, I'm going to put the link in the description box, or you might see the link on the screen as well. So please do check out those groups if you're interested in applying for a fully funded. I believe that they advertise all types of scholarships as well. Okay, amazing. Next question is, can you tell us briefly about the Allan and Nesta scholarship? So aside from fully funded, what other benefits are there together with the scholarship? Is it just tuition fee? Is there allowance? Is your flight covered? All those kind of details.
Okay, I think it's a bit different from some scholarships in quote, because of course when some people hear about scholarships, we only think of fully everything is taken care. We just sit at home. Some even don't have passports, like me for sure. It took down my friend to push me to get a passport.
Wow.
I was applying for these things, but I didn't even have a passport. So maybe I was one of those who were sitting at home. The previous year, I was waiting for just hand us everything. So the Allan and Nesta scholarship is a bit different. So they don't hand you everything. Not even apply like the normal ones where you apply only once. Everything is sorted. Like there are some scholarships where you just need the application portal. But it's a bit different. So it comes with monthly stipends, which are in a particular format, but it's monthly. It covers your 12 months or 10 to 12 months of study in the UK, and they also take care of your tuition fees, which is very expensive if you consider the university involved here, particularly in my case Sheffield, where the school fees is over 20-something thousand pounds.
I think mine is 26,200.
Exactly.
That's a lot of money.
So yeah, it's really expensive. If you want to put that into perspective, they spend over close to 40,000 on you, and but they do not cover your transportation and your visa arrangements. Yeah, you have to do that yourself. So I think that's where it gets tricky. Because I know for sure that people who it might be very challenging for to get through that process. I myself, it was a bit interesting for me, a bit challenging. But of course, that same good friend of mine was the one, because at some point I almost didn't want to continue because I didn't know it was going to take that. I just thought, okay, perhaps. It was just but then everything was skyrocketing. You were not setting about some things. My offer was conditional.
Yeah, I remember.
I had to, you were not exactly sure what you were doing, and it was taking so much energy and so much money. I had a job too that I had to keep up with, so it was really tasking. But yeah, they do. You would have to take care of your transportation. But when it comes to every other thing, once you arrive, your tuition fee and your living stipend, they will take care of that, for you. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So thank you so much. So how many months did it take you to apply? the reason why I'm giving my own personal experience as well together with wisdom, because we are on the same scholarship. So for me, it took me, because I've actually applied for this scholarship before in 2021, but didn't get in. And then I applied again in 2022, and because I've applied before, it had given me, you know, I already knew what kind of questions, I already knew what kind of documents I needed. So it took me like roughly a month to put down my application and all of that. But for you, how long did it take you to apply? That is together with all the documents, that is applying for the university, because I don't know, for your course, did you have to apply to the university first and get an offer for the course before applying for the scholarship, or did you do it simultaneously, or which one came first?
Okay, I applied for admission first to the university.
Okay.
It was after the university, then we were told that if we qualify for, there were internal funding. And I think that's one thing that is critical, because my story down here would not be complete without some help I got from some other opportunities I got into to understand how these things work. First, YouTube videos such as this were very helpful. Then I got into Getting. Getting Consulting. It's they are a brand in Nigeria that normally takes care of teaching you all you need to know about SOPs, statement of purpose, personal statement, blah blah blah. And at the same time, I got into Education USA. I was an OFP scholar around the same time. So it really helped me, particularly the getting part of the conversation. They were really helpful, because internal funding is something I didn't understand. I knew it existed, but it sounded too stressful and I didn't understand it. So, but I got into Getting at the time, and it was fully funded too. Usually you pay around 50. Okay, let me convert it now, because maybe things have changed. But then it was 50, around £50. But in local currency of Nigeria at the time, it was like 50,000. Right? But then it was £50 if you want to look at it from today's perspective. So they explained about the fact that it is not only those Chevening and all those other scholarships that exist. So, and you could also look at internal funding opportunities, and that brings me down to the answer to the question. So internal funding opportunities are more like adventurous opportunities. You don't have everything there. You start with getting admission with hope that you would even be thought of or considered. So in my case, I after that thing happened to my friend, so I then saw that there was something called an Allan and Nesta scholarship that would come up later in the year, but it was for this university, and I then went to find out more about it. As I was taught by Getting, that if you see it, don't give up, try to look at it. So I went to look at it, and then I found the courses that they were sponsoring. Prior to that time, I wanted to go to graduate school here, but my intentions was a bit different. I wanted to build softwares for journalists, and I didn't really know where to start, because I had some practical experience in journalism. I was a computer scientist and developer, but I didn't know the academic side of things. So when I saw the opportunity, I said, okay, they support some courses. And then the journalism course was there. I said, okay, I would not just go because it's a course. Let me look at the modules. So I went to the university. I did my due diligence, look at the university website and everything. And I found that, okay, the modules were would be very helpful to my course. And there was research methods, which I felt was very important. So that's how I applied. And after applying, and also in the course of me doing the research, I found out that, okay, if I qualify, they would send me a mail to notify me that I can apply for the scholarship. So I then applied for admission. I got a conditional offer. I didn't take it seriously because, like I said, I was not happy. My friend was going to leave me. We're doing this together. So I started also looking at other things. And then, of course, I was focusing on applying for a PhD at the time.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So that was when around, was it April or May? I got a mail that I could apply. Was it April or March?
I think it was in March.
March,
It
right?
was in March they sent the email.
So they sent the mail that I could apply for the scholarship. So I called my friend and I told her, this is the situation. What do you think? She said, no, I didn't call her. Apologies. I didn't let her know. I just started drafting immediately because she was busy thinking of her interview. Yeah. So I started drafting immediately. And after I was done with the draft, all the other things I did before, lots of people reviewed it. So I was tired of the reviews. So I said, I'm not going to send anything. And I don't want to embarrass myself because I didn't get the ones that I had 5 reviews. So I just called her. I said, spare me some time. Let's look at this together. I'm not giving it to any other person. So she quickly looked at it and I submitted it. In quick time, I just, so it wasn't like those ones where you prepared years for it. The ones I prepared for, I didn't get it. So that was what happened. And when around May, then it was then around April, May, I then saw that I had been given the scholarship. Even at that time, to tell you how uninterested I looked, I had not checked the unconditional offer. I had not thought about making it conditional to unconditional. I had not even looked at what are the conditions that I need to meet. So they just told me I've been given a scholarship, but I should note that my offer is still conditional. I would need to work on my offer.
So they gave you the scholarship even when you still had a condition. So just to explain for those that might not understand, a conditional offer from a university means that they are giving you the admission to the university, but on a certain condition that you have to fulfill. So the conditions, for example, now some people, their conditions are like IELTS. For example, you need to submit an IELTS English test. For some people, conditions could be, what other conditions? What was your condition, by the way?
It was IELTS.
It was IELTS, you see. So most times it's always IELTS.
Sometimes it's certificate. It's your if you're from West Africa, it could be your West Africa Senior Certificate. They might not. How do they do that stuff? If you submit that certificate, it still links to English because you could use that certificate to upstage
IELTS,
English. Yes. So and your certificate sometimes, if you don't have a proper transcript, or the transcript is not very clean, maybe you snapped it and you used a very interesting camera on it. They could tell you they don't understand this question. They need a better proof.
So basically, those are the conditions that may be attached to your offer. So the moment you now fulfill those conditions, or you send them the documents or the IELTS or whatever they have asked for, then it now moves from a conditional offer to an unconditional offer, meaning that now there's no condition. You have gotten the offer to then start your studies and all of that. So he got basically the scholarship even when the offer was still conditional. That's a miracle, though, to be honest. If you really think about it, because if you look at it, if there was a lot of competition,
they could have denied.
They could have because people that didn't have any conditions on their offer, they would have probably looked at those first. So that's really interesting to know. Thank God for that. Okay, so my next question is, okay, we've talked about how you use Get In Consulting. They helped you to but I want to believe that it's not just that alone. There could have been some other tips or some other things that maybe you did that kind of increased your chances. You talked about giving it to someone to review, which I've also mentioned on my channel, that when you're applying for a scholarship, always give someone to review. Let a second person or third person, depending on how many people you can get, review your letters, so that you don't think that it's perfect, but what you're not seeing, someone else is going to see. So aside from that review and all, I'm pretty sure Get In didn't just give you a blank paper and say do this. So what helpful tips do you think that helped you aside from the things you've shared already?
Okay, there were lots of things. The thing is, if you want something, you would want to put in your best in looking for it. I joined groups, anyone I could find. That's why I just said I might not even tell where I get to see some things because I was joining things. I was reading up things. I was watching videos like this, and I didn't believe any knowledge till date. Watch the previous video you did last time with Sikak was the name. So I don't have. There is no apartheid in knowledge. Wherever you can find it, you grab it. So I think that's the first thing. because that's the only way you could see opportunities that others don't see. Because you
yeah.
don't know everything.
Yeah.
Neither do you even know how to go about everything.
True.
Then, of course, another thing, outside joining every group or opportunity you see, I even had a time when a friend of mine got it before me. That was the first year I heard about it. So he came over. I became his student. And there was no pride. There was nothing like, so you might need that calmness of spirit, but so I think every group you can find, every seminar video you can find, particularly around the opportunity, is important. Reviewers are also very, very important. I must say that even though I didn't get the previous one before that, was Chivney, I didn't get to be called up for that, but I gave it to someone who was not even from my country. She was here at the time. She was a scholar, and she was benevolent enough to even do a Google Meet with me, talk to me about it. Her country was in South America, so they had a similar situation with my country. So she would tell me, this thing you're saying here might not be good. So there are things that, and no matter how sweet your story might sound to your ears, there are things you might not know. So I think reviewers are very, very important. If you get a close friend who can do it with you, that's nice. But your friend has to be a stronger iron that can sharpen your iron. Because if you call wood to sharpen you and you're an iron, then you have a problem. So I think reviewers are important. And then starting out on time is also very important.
Yeah,
this is August. But of course, this video will probably remain there for a long time.
Yeah.
So who might wait till the very deadline before they can actually apply to things, and I think that is not very, very good. You might miss the opportunity because there are lots of processes around it. It's not just something you wake up today and you put up a statement and submit.
Yeah, true.
You start early, keep reviewing what you've done, keep reviewing it until it becomes as good as something you can submit. But the first draft is not always the best. So start early and draft as many times as you can. Redraft, clean it up, and continue iterating. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. That was really helpful. So what has been your experience so far as a recipient of this scholarship? What would you say the funding, for example, the allowance, would you say it's enough to meet your needs? Would you say that, okay, this scholarship has brought a lot of opportunities for you, your course? Basically, what has your experience been like?
Okay, it's been amazing. I have had the opportunity of meeting very amazing people. That's the first thing. I've had the opportunity to learn a lot that I didn't know in the past, particularly from people who are from all the places, all the countries, all the regions, all the cultures. It gives you a broader perspective. If you then look back at things at home, when you've seen only one side of the spectrum, it's like, or the prism, it's like, this is the only thing that matters. So meeting people from you has been one of the greatest things, gifts. The allowance has been okay, to say it fairly enough. It has been okay to take care of a few of my needs. Also, you have the opportunity, if you like to stretch yourself, you have the opportunity to probably work, get some hours of part-time duties where you can make some extra, if you like that is. But else, whatever they've given to me has really helped me. It's not exactly, there's no month that I've spent more than what they've given to me. So it's been very, very helpful. And then the course itself has also helped me a whole lot. It's been a 1 year of modeling a lot of things, particularly about my journey, career wise. I've had so much clarity looking back at the person I was the previous year. I would even say if I had gone from then to a PhD like I planned, I would not have been the best version of myself like I would be now going forward. So it's enormous, I must say. Diversity, knowledge learned, the courses, the environment is another thing. If you like traveling around, man, you like going to see, like I'm the type who loves football to an extent. You could go to the stadiums and the environment is quite different. The code too is
That's something else.
It's not something that I would also forget. But overall, it's been amazing.
And did you experience any culture shocks when you came?
Lots of them. Lots of them. I think the first thing for me was I was coming from a country where some things were outlawed. Yeah, so I then moved into a house where flats. I didn't use a student accommodation, where I had a Belgian and an English. We're 3 in total in the house, and we share a lot of things. So we go to everything together. So their views and mine were different. So it wasn't easy at all. I believed in religion. I not just religion, but I am a Christian rather. But they didn't believe in anything. So it was quite different. And I must say that was the first shocker for me. Then of course the country where I was coming from, in terms of the culture, maybe sex and gay rights and things like that. This was a more liberal society. Where I come from, some things are not a bit. It's like it's unheard of. But here, of course, it was normal. And then Christmas was not Christmas. Christmas where I come from, no, it was true. Christmas where we come from, there is, your neighbors, everybody comes back to the village or to the house. It doesn't not necessarily even mean village. Wherever you guys are, it's either you're the one going, you're buying things to go see people, or they're coming to see you. But here, Christmas, everybody was on his own.
Everyone on their own.
So it was, and then you can't even see your local brother, maybe from your side of the world. It's either they are running out in the morning, even in the night you won't find them. So yeah, but that was part of it. But the environment was also another thing. Technology was, which I feel is part of the greatest things I would go back with. There is a lot that has been done with technology in this part, that my side of the world is not yet exactly at that level. Of course, we've made progress, but we're not exactly at that level yet. Systemic management and things aligning with the trends of the time. It's in an excellent level here, and that for me was surprising, because where I come from, bosses don't come when you want the bosses. Here everything I could check from my phone. But there's where I come from, there's African time and there is the real time. So. But yeah, that was it. Till now, I still struggle with some things, because I'm not exactly used to those things. If a boss says it's coming at 4, where you come from before, you could go at 4 or 5 and you meet up with the boss. But here, that 4, if you go, it's short. As a matter of fact, there are some things you use, like a train. If you're not seated at some point, you would probably not get in. So yes, there were lots of it. Perspectives was number 1. Anyway.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And my final question would be, what advice do you have for people who are watching? Because so many people have piqued interest in applying for scholarships.
Yeah.
I get loads of emails, I get lots of messages, and I do give my own advice, but I would like you to also share, like, okay, what advice do you give to someone out there, especially someone that is thinking, these scholarships, am I qualified enough? Do I have enough skills or experience? Can I actually do this? Can I actually get this scholarship? Is it too far-fetched? Basically, those kind of questions that come in, and imposter syndrome and all of that. So what advice would you give to those that are watching?
Okay, I think first is defining what you really want. I think that's the first thing. If you don't start there, you're going to get yourself in trouble, because you're going to end up getting to a place, and after that program, what next? So I think the very first thing is deciding to yourself, what do you really want? What do you really want to do with your life? What's the goal? And it has to be clearly defined. If your goal is just to change environment, or like I've said, there's stadium and you go see Manchester United, if that's your goal, then I think you should have a rethink, because wherever you're staying, you could grow up well enough to pay some of those tea fares. And so I think your goal should be bigger than that, should be broader than that. But what's your goal? Your goal shouldn't be running away, shouldn't be changing environment. It should be it should be more towards what you want to do. If you're maybe saying change the environment because it will help you improve yourself for something, that's okay. But it should be well defined. What are you going to do? So it will then help you choose a path. It will then help you choose a course. I said I wanted to build tools for journalists. A computer scientist doing a master's in journalism is weird, but that's because my goal is simple. I want to build tools only for the media. So I have to go through this path because that 1 year would be the knowledge I have, academic side of the course. So I could then do a PhD in computer science while I could prove that I could research for this field. So my goal was very clear, and I'm still going towards that line. So if you decide where you're going, it's then decide the bus you take, the cab, or the path. If you're going to, let's say, London, and then you enter a bus in Niamey or in Zambia or in South Africa, you know you are wasting your time. There is no day a bus in South Africa will get you to London. You have to take a plane. So it's you defining where you're going. That's, for me, is the first thing. Be very clear. Be clearer than be as clear as possible. Then, of course, I think perseverance is very important. The journey of scholarships is not always rosy. She said she applied the previous year for the same. So I think it's not always as rosy as it sounds. Sometimes you might get rejections, but it's okay, and it's fine to keep trying. Rejections are part of it. You get better from the previous year. There's nobody I know that has gotten it after a year that had rejections the previous year that were not better off by that previous year. The course they then chose or whatever align more with themselves at the end of the day. So I think it's important that you have that in mind, that it's not as rosy. But that aside, I've seen people who just rounded up with their youth service, I've seen people who were in their youth service and got admission into Cornell University, Princeton, Harvard, and they were still doing their youth service.
Wow.
So it is not impossible at all. I've seen people who are second class upper, second class lower, third class, I've seen people with HND who got scholarships. So if you are someone who has already, you're done with school and you're thinking, is it my kind of thing? Yes, some scholarships, and I think that's where you need to know yourself. Some scholarships will then help tell you, we want first class. For example, if you want to be a leader, if you're a leader in a particular area, maybe you don't even have second class, you don't even have a very satisfactory result in your undergrad, and then you are a leader in a particular space, maybe you've done something phenomenal, and you don't look for the people that are interested in leaders, maybe Chevening, maybe they would be happy to have you. There are opportunities that look for people that are first class. And maybe if you have that already, you know that's where you're going. And if you're even someone who's in the university, well enough, you know, okay, this is the direction I'm going. I would need to probably study more. So I think that is also important. It is not difficult. A friend of mine who is going to Cornell now as we speak, she should be there in the next week. She was doing her NYSC when she was at, I have finished. She was doing her NYSC when she was, so I think it's not difficult. People who have gotten it don't have two heads actually. It's at all not difficult. But the main thing is you have to strike, how do you call it? Shoot your shot. Yes. So you have to make an attempt. You can't just stay in your house. What if never goes to the ring? If you want to win the belt, you have to get to the ring to fight. And don't be shocked. People who are shorter than you have gotten it. People who are taller than you have gotten. People who are slimmer than you have gotten. People who are faster than you have gotten. So it has got nothing to do with your size, your packaging, or maybe your English. Then also, your English is very important, because I've seen people who can't even construct English who got scholarships. So it's not important. But of course, also to add, your background will be important in an area. If you're going to study something, I think you should, while defining the first question, building on the first suggestion rather, while defining what you want, look at your background. Don't apply for something that is not in line. I had experience in journalism. I was doing a few things in journalism at the time. So if you know for sure that you want to apply for a scholarship, sit with yourself and ask yourself, what can I say about myself? What have I done? What experiences will boost might, because there's something called the statements you write, and those statements, like, why are you applying for this course? Like for Allan and Nesta, you would get to hear about what's your future plan after this thing. What have you done in terms of community, in terms of development that has made you see yourself. And there is nobody that does not have a story. It's just about how you prepare your story. You know, this, my friend going to Cornell, I'll still use that example. What's her experience? She was in her NYSC, she was teaching and she was researching, going to a lecturer to help him do a few things.
Wow.
That's all.
Wow.
But there are people who have bigger things, who cannot exactly package it properly to get the same admission. So I really feel, if you can sit with yourself, find where you choose a course that aligns with your experience, because some of them pay more attention to experience. The ones that pay attention to academics, like Rhodes Scholarship, they like first class students who are under 25 or under 26. You look at those areas. And so I think if you can apply definiteness of purpose, perseverance, and you can look at your background properly before applying, I think, and you understand that there's nobody who cannot get it, I think you'd be able to do it.
Wow, amazing. Wow, thank you for sharing that. So basically your mindset matters, the kind of work as well, if you're ready to put in hard, because so many people are not even ready to put in that hard work, and you just have to put in hard work basically, because writing your statements of purpose, applying, giving to people to review, it all involves a lot of hard work. So once you're ready to put in that work and you're going in with the right mindset and, you know, using all the helpful tools that Wisdom has shared, you definitely do have a chance. And of course, there's nothing impossible for God to do. We are Christians, and we also believe that, you know, there's an importance in praying as well, and, you know, God can also do it for you, but God will not do it for you're just sitting down in your house not doing anything. Faith without works is dead, if you get what I'm saying. So, but basically that's it, Wisdom. Thank you so much. You know, I've really learned a lot right now, and I'm really grateful that you came on my channel and you decided to, you know, do this. And I'm sure people that are watching are also grateful as well. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. So whatever we've shared here is just our own personal experience. We are not experts, or we're not like an organization or a kind of agency or consulting agency basically. So we don't give a kind of professional advice, but we're just giving advice based on our own experience. So I think getting consultants, are they like professionals as well? They
are professionals in terms of guiding people that,
so you can check them out if you're interested in getting professional help. But thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share this video to someone that you know that is interested. That is, if maybe you came across this video and maybe you're not really looking forward to scholarship, but you know someone that is keen on getting a fully funded scholarship, please share this video to them. You'll be doing them, you know, a huge favor by doing that. And please also subscribe to this channel. Thank you, and thank you once again, Wisdom. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.